Matthew here, and welcome to another review here on the channel. Today, as always, I'm joined by Liv, and we are reviewing Doctor Who Series 12, Episode 4, Nikola Tesla's Night of Terror, and it's written by a Doctor Who newbie, being Nina Matevia, I believe it is pronounced, a first-time writer for Doctor Who. So it was always going to be interesting to see if this new writer was going to bring something new to the table, was going to, you know, bring something different and fresh, or might not totally grasp what a good Doctor episode is. And, of course, it could have been a train wreck. After last week's, well, I don't even know what you want to call it, monstrosity that was Orphan 55, which I look back on and rated too highly, so I'll start by rescinding my 5 out of 10 rating and probably knocking it down to a 4, to be generous. What did we think of this week's episode then, compared to Orphan 55 and, of course, Spyfall?
It didn't take much to be better than last week's episode, let's face it.
Of course, yeah, very, very true.
Nowhere near as good enough as the opening two-part, of course, but just alright.
Just alright?
Just alright.
Yeah, I'd say it didn't blow me away. It didn't,
No.
You know, I didn't come away from it going, my God, that was just, oh my God. But I didn't come away from it like I did last week going, what have I just, what? I came away from it satisfied, and I came away from it going, yeah, I enjoyed that. That was alright, yeah.
I just found, towards the middle of the episode, so I just found myself zoning out a bit. It was just starting to get a little bit boring for me.
Yeah.
And then at the end, it picked up again, like in the beginning.
Yeah, I mean, I found it it did sort of slow down a few times. I mean, started off quite well, quite intrigued. Obviously,
Yeah.
It was a while till we saw the Doctor and the fam. And then, yeah, once we started to find out a few things, it started kicking off. We met the villain. It sort of just dropped off and slowed down a little bit. And there was 1 or 2 moments where I was hoping, you know, it could kick into gear. But then at the end, it did. So that's what I mean. It wasn't like an action-packed, you know, episode of Who that had me on the floor in shock and, oh my bloody God. But I, you know, as a sit-down episode of Doctor Who, I enjoyed it. I did.
Yeah, it was alright.
You are hard to impress.
No, it wasn't just that. I don't know. I think mainly for me, the villain did not interest me in the slightest. So that's probably why I'm thinking, yeah, it was all right. But maybe if there was a different, more kind of threatening villain, then maybe the episode might have brought it up a few pegs for me.
Yeah, well, let's start with the villain, because, I mean, that's the only fault of the episode I can think of. The only part of the episode where I wasn't really into, I wasn't bothered about, I wasn't intrigued into the villain. I mean, you know, and from the trailers and everything, the villain looked great. I mean, I can't even remember the villain's name. But
you are rubbish with names.
Well,
I found out.
I mean, it's
First episode, Lenny Henry's character. You
That's
couldn't
very
get
true.
right.
Daniel Barton. That was his name. See? I remember it now.
Finally!
See? I don't forget everything.
Episode 4, and he's got it.
I've got it, finally. Although I do like to refer to him as Lenny Henry. But no, you know, the villains, from the trailers and everything, promo, they look very much like the Rachnos.
Very, similar.
I was hoping there might be a connection there, and obviously when we discovered that they did, you know, these creatures has been on Mars and had obviously picked up the Tesla's signal, I thought there might be some sort of connection there, you know, the Rachnos in the centre of the Earth, as is everything else that's been in the centre of the Earth, and maybe they were in the centre of Mars, like the Flood and the Ice Warriors and every other bloody thing that's been in the centre of Mars. But there wasn't much to the villain. There wasn't many layers to the villain. There was no background. There was no depth. There was no, you know, there was no real motive other than, you know, we steal things and we've broke something and we want Tesla to fix it. And if we have to destroy everyone on Earth to get to him, then we will. It just, yeah, the stakes weren't, you know, big with this villain, and I found some of the scenes and the dialogue with the villain a bit generic. You know, it was just your run-of-the-mill villain that's just evil and wants to just kill everything and doesn't have much of a reason behind it. And the Scorpions looked alright. They were a bit like the spiders from Kill the Moon. They just ended up being sort of there. So the only fault for me that was a little bit disappointing was the villain. Well,
at first with the villain, I was quite intrigued. So was how it was taking over the people that were like
the people look good when they were using their bodies. Look very good.
Well, the red in the eyes and they were following them. That was quite creepy. And I was thinking, yeah, this is all right. But what trailed it off for me, so was meeting the Queen or whatever she was called, and then straight away, so it slumped.
Yeah, you could still hear the actress's Cockney accent behind. They just made her voice very deep.
Not the
generic,
best.
Really. Yeah, it's
not the best.
It's not a villain we're going to look back on and remember as one of standouts. But I was more of a fan when the human bodies were killed. Well, the humans were killed. Their bodies were taken. They looked very creepy, and I liked the idea of you don't know. They touched upon it ever so slightly. It's a bit like with the Zygons. You don't know who could be one of them creatures. And I wish they'd have sort of played on that a little bit more.
Yeah.
You know, that all along there might have been, I don't know, Tesla's lady friend might have been one of them all along or something like that. But, villain. All right.
Mm-hmm.
What about the story itself? Obviously surrounding a historical figure, as Doctor Who does very often with Mr. Nikola Tesla. I honestly thought he was one of the most likeable and enjoyable historical figures that we've had in a while. I really, really got into his character, and because I didn't know much about him, I found myself learning quite a bit about him. What did you think of him in this episode?
Yeah,
as a historical figure?
I agree.
I know of Thomas Edison.
Yeah, I do. But
I'd never heard of Nikola Tesla and how they delved into his character and what he did, and I got sort of. And no way am I comparing this to Vincent van Gogh and Vincent and the Doctor, but at the end I got sort of Vincent and the Doctor vibes with how, you know, they thought that this could be the kick-on for his life and this experience
it wasn't.
And it was sad in a way that he died penniless, and I guess that's why he was a good historical figure to choose for this episode, because he's someone who's not really known about as much.
That's what I liked about him. So was the depth in his character, for like no one believing in him, to then believe in him, and then there was all these negative stories about him.
Yeah.
I just thought that character was written very well.
Yeah, I did. I thought it was fantastic. I thought seeing Thomas Edison be in it as well was
that was good.
A cool rivalry with them two, which obviously in the end they sort of made up in the end. I liked how them two really historical inventors got to see the TARDIS and what they thought of it, and meeting the Doctor and all that dynamic I thought was really, really cool. But Nikola Tesla especially, I think, is one of my more favoured historical figures in recent Doctor Who. So as for the Doctor then, I again felt like, apart from a lot of sonicking,
Sonic
of sonicking
is getting way too overused. She uses the Sonic for everything.
I thought this was the first episode of the series, though, where the Sonic's been overused. This is the first time it's happened. This series. We've not really seen much of it so far, but this episode...
Because last week's episode, we've seen a fair bit of it, though.
Well, I can't remember anything from last week's episode, apart from Benny. Benny! But no, I thought the Sonic was a little bit jarring at times. She was sort of throwing it around, but I'll be honest, I think Jodie had a very good performance this week. I did. I thought she had some... And considering it was against a villain who I didn't really care about, I thought some of her scenes face-to-face with the villain were very, very good. Yeah. She stood up to it very well. Some of her lines were really good. There was a nice mix between a few comedy lines. The high five line, I think, was a reference to Time Crash, with when the 10th Doctor went to high five the 5th Doctor. I thought that was kind of nice.
I hated it.
I thought that was a nice... I thought it was... She's got to have a few moments of comedy.
Hated it.
She can't just be, like, serious all the time. That was literally one of the only comedic lines she said in the entire episode. she can be funny sometimes, you know. It's not like before where every line that was coming out of her mouth was like a failed joke.
No, you're missing the point. It just brings it back to where the reason why I feel this way towards her. So I'm not connecting to her.
So what about this episode then?
She was alright.
Did you like?
That's all I'd say. She was alright.
Did you like any parts of her in this episode apart from the bit you didn't like? Was there any moments in the episode where you looked and thought, I like that scene. I like what you did there.
Oh God. There was some good scenes with the villain. I'd think, but that was about it.
I thought there was some very good scenes with the villain. I thought she had some really nice scenes with Nicholas Tesla. And overall, I thought it was a very good performance. I enjoyed it. I mean, I'm not saying that she's the best Doctor I've ever seen. I'm not saying that this is a blockbuster. But I thought that I couldn't fault the performance. I thought the balance was right, and for a new writer to come in and write her like the writer has done, I think is plaudits to. And I forgot. It's all about forgetting the name of people. I forgot the writer's name, but I thought for a debut writer, how they've written the Doctor was pretty good compared to how some experienced writers have written her in the past. I thought it was another step in the right direction.
Oh, fair enough then.
Fair enough. Apart from the Sonic.
Yeah, apart from the Sonic.
That
drove me mad.
I also like the fact of how we saw her invent things.
Yeah.
Be practical. A little bit like what we see with the third Doctor as well. I thought that was pretty cool, how she tricked the villain in the end as well. I just thought there was a few really clever Doctor moments in there.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
The companions. What do we think about them? Because they've been sort of hit and miss this series. One episode we've seen more of a certain companion, and then another one sort of dropped back this week. Then another week, another one's shone, and the others have dropped back. Who would you say stood out for you this week? And was there anyone who you thought was sort of just there?
I'm getting the same vibes from Series 11, Yaz. Stuck in the background and hardly getting used.
Interesting.
Just because, like, she wasn't much with the Doctor. Like, how do I put this? So I always find Yaz to be sent off somewhere else. You were always with the Doctor, so it's Grain and Brian, but never Yaz. Do you get where I'm coming from, or don't you agree?
So you feel like Yaz has just been thrown to the side in episodes?
Again. Like with Series 11. There wasn't one scene to where I'd say standout Yaz moment. Do you see where I'm coming from?
Yeah, I wouldn't say she had an episode this week where she was at the forefront. And she never had moments that she sort of big moments for her or a character. But I thought she was a bit better this week. I think putting her with Tesla for the brief time they were together was nice. A couple of nice scenes in there. The problem I'm getting, and this is just a problem, from episode to episode. It's not just this episode in itself. I just feel like the TARDIS team's just too big.
Yeah, it is far too big.
I'm just starting to feel like every week someone, and obviously maybe
spare part.
Maybe they need to. Maybe they've mapped it out and they've thought, right, this week we're going to have more of this companion, this week we're going to have more than this, and maybe they're trying to map it out in a way.
Yeah, but the problem with doing that, so was one member of the TARDIS team, so was always going to be left out, and even every week, so apart from the first two-parter, I'm getting that towards Yaz, like in Series 11.
Yeah.
Graham and Ryan are always with the Doctor, so always doing stuff, but there's Yaz, so just sent somewhere else.
I don't think any of the three of them particularly did much this week.
No.
But I just feel like I noticed Yaz a little bit more. I don't know why that was. I think Ryan was the one who suffered this week. I don't remember Ryan doing anything at all.
I agree with that.
I don't remember even him having a handful of lines.
The problem is that you're right. The TARDIS team does feel too big. But what gets me? So the one companion that's shining every week is Graham. And even though some episodes, so he's got nothing to do, it's just that presence he has on the episode. Like, are you alright, Doc? It's just Graham.
There's something about his character.
He is.
I mean, he doesn't. It's true in a way that he's not done much either.
No, but
he hasn't.
No.
But there's just something that draws me to him every time the camera cuts to him. I'm always eager to hear what he's going to say. I'm on the edge of his every word because I know whatever he's going to say is either going to be really funny, relatable, likeable. There's just something about his character where every time he appears on screen, I'm instantly zoned in to want to know what he's saying. Whereas with the others, I'm sort of just going through the motions with Ryan and Yaz.
I kind of wish that Chibnall just had Graham as a companion and not the other two.
Maybe Graham and Ryan as like a granddad-grandson dynamic. I just feel like something needs to happen between the three of them because every episode sort of is the same. They're there, they're sort of joining the Doctor on these adventures, they're asking questions, they're there
but
to
that's
be
all
for
they're doing.
Yeah, so like
So
Tesla this
asking the
week.
questions all the time.
Yeah, I just feel like they are just... I mean, obviously Graham stands out a little bit because of just how likeable he is, but they're just slipping into being just bog standard companions.
Yeah.
They're reminding me very much, and this is no disrespect to some of the classic companions, because in the classic Who we had Joe Grant, we had Brigadier, we had Sarah Jane, we had Perry, we had absolute classic companions, Ace as well. But there were the odd companions in the classic series that were just there to ask questions and were there to just exist. Adric was more just annoying. Tegan, maybe. But I just feel like these three are slipping into being... And
a bad pattern.
I had this problem, and I said this before Series 12. And a lot of what we've wanted in Series 12 so far, with the Doctor and with the scale of it and etc., stuff like that, has, what we've asked for sort of came true. But the one thing that still hasn't, 4 episodes in, is that I wanted something to happen with the companions. Just something to knock them out the comfort zone. Make it... Because every episode, they're sat there
it's the
and...
same.
Every episode when they're when Ryan's talking about, talking to Nikola's Tesla or whatever, and they're being asked, like, yeah, it's another week. It happens every week.
It's the same.
Yeah, they're even mentioning it in the narrative. I want something to happen. One of them to go missing for a few episodes. One of them to be taken for a few episodes. One of them just to something to happen. Like Clara always had, as much as her companion was all over the place, there was always something happening. Amy had the marriage with Rory, and then what happened with her baby, and then in the first series there was the crack in her wall. Donna had the whole Dr. Donna thing. Martha had she had stuff with the Doctor as well, and Rose did. All the companions have had something extra. These three just feel like they're there just to be there, just to tag along.
I think
something needs to happen to one of them.
Something has to happen.
Knock them out the comfort zone.
Or one of them has to get killed off.
Yeah, maybe not. Yeah, maybe.
To see.
Maybe keep that for the finale, but yeah.
Just to see the reaction of the other companions and then the Doctor.
Yeah.
Well, then that might just bring something extra for the companions and then the Doctor.
Exactly. I mean, I'm sure travelling with the Doctor, we've seen it with loads of companions. It's amazing. It's wonderful. It's absolutely incredible. But it's also really hard and horrible. And we've not really seen them tested in that way yet.
Yeah, and every week, so they're saying, oh yeah, this is just a normal day for us. But us as viewers, so finding that a bit repetitive, mainly. That,
repetitive is a good word, yeah.
Average day, done that before. Average day, we've done that before.
Yeah.
Something else needs to happen.
Yeah, it's a walk in the park for them.
It is, yeah.
And it has been since the beginning. Obviously, they lost Grace in the very beginning. That sort of carried on a little bit. But I just want something to really knock them out of their comfort zone. And I'm hoping
something extra.
I'm hoping something's going to happen between the three of them. Because at the minute, they're all just there, tagging along in the episodes. You know, they're all having cool little lines here, asking a couple of questions. But even then, I find the Doctor explaining more of the stuff of what's going on rather than the companions being the one who asks.
She always does, though. She always does.
So,
she always does.
You know,
nothing changes for me.
They're not even doing... I mean, companions are normally known to be the ones who ask the questions, and that's the perception we see the episode in. They're the eyes we look through. But it doesn't even feel like they're doing that at the minute. So, yeah, something does need to happen with the three of them. I'm talking about, briefly, on the what do you want to call it? The constant talking. I forgot what the word is. But that wasn't too bad either this week.
No, not this week. I think Jodie did a good job this week. So of not over-explaining the plot like she normally does.
Yeah, I agree.
There's still something that's just missing from her for me.
I forgot what the word is when you say... Well, what is the word when... what's it called? Just unnecessary talking.
Babbling on.
I've forgotten what I'm going to kick myself for forgetting that. I'm forgetting a lot of things,
yeah,
aren't I?
Old age, darling, old
yes,
age.
it certainly is.
Old
so,
age.
only other thing we've got to really mention is how it ended. I thought the ending was okay, quite action-packed, quite nice. I mean, a little bit of a shortcut with kill the queen, they all die.
Yeah.
You know, the hive thing, it's...
Found that a bit...
You know, it's tried and tested.
Yeah.
It's a bit generic.
It always works.
Yeah.
We'll do it again.
Exactly. They've done it many times. Kill the source, it kills them all.
So I just think the villain was better, or they never had the queen, take the queen out of it, and having them scorpion-looking creatures out of it. So keep with the people to try and take over more people might have been a lot better than the queen.
Yeah, so I agree. So again, the only real letdown in this episode was the villain. Other than that, I thoroughly enjoyed it. What would you rate this one?
I think I'll go with a 7.
Oh, what? Wow.
Just average.
I wasn't expecting a rating that high from you.
A 7's just average for me.
Is it?
Yes!
Orphan 55 must have been bloody bad
Oh,
then.
that was bad.
You gave that a 2.
that deserved a 2. That was terrible. That episode was a monstrosity of an episode.
Wow.
Your rating?
Well, I was going to give it a 7 as well.
Oh, fair.
But I was just expecting you to give it a 5. Because
I'm not that harsh.
I just... You know, I don't know, I just expected an average episode for you to just be in the middle, a 5.
I'm not that harsh.
I'd say so. To be fair, part of me was even thinking 6. But I did enjoy it, so...
So did enjoy it for the Tesla stuff, learning about him. And well, your medicine and all that. That was good. So what didn't make me want to go higher was the villain, and hearing the companions were a bit boring.
Yeah.
Apart from Graham.
Yeah, there was enough in there for me to be entertained. Like I say, the only thing that really let me down was the villain. The companions didn't do much, but all the historical stuff, learning about Nikola Tesla, his character was fantastic. I thought the Doctor was very, very good too. So I'd agree, I'd give it a 7. I'd say it's a very, very good episode.
We agree.
We agree.
We agree.
And like I said at the start, I rescind last week's rating. Orphan 55 is nowhere near worthy of a 5. It's getting a 4.
That's still far too generous
Just
for me.
for people who...
Far too generous.
Take note of our ratings. But other than that, guys, that's been our review of Nikola Tesla's Night of Terror. So if you've enjoyed it, do hit the like button, of course. Subscribe to this channel for weekly reviews of every single episode for Doctor Who Series 12, among many other cool theory videos we'll be doing in between. Hit the bell to be notified when we upload every single video, and most importantly, please comment below your thoughts on this episode, what you liked, what you didn't. You can follow us across all social medias to keep up to date on what we are up to on Facebook, Twitter. You can even donate to us on Patreon if you're ever so kind. And we'll both be back this time next week for the review of Fugitive of the Judoon. The Judoon are back! How exciting!
Yay!
I am looking forward to that, back in present day as well. But until then, thanks for watching, guys. We'll see you next time.